Blog Talk Radio.
You are now listening to the most talked about blog talk radio station in the universe. Walk in His ways, Impact Voice Radio. Be prepared to have your mind stimulated, your spirit elevated in ways you couldn't even imagine. Introducing your host and the mastermind behind this unforgettable experience, Furman Jackson Jr. You will not be disappointed. Let's go!
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Walk in His Ways, Impact Voice, broadcasting you again live from my hometown of Mobile, Alabama. I hope everybody's having a great morning so far. You know, getting things done, cleaning the house, cleaning your car, planning out your day. This is the day, man, that the Most High has made. We're going to be glad and rejoice in it. I have a very special guest on this morning broadcast, something that's going to really change your life, something that's really going to motivate you. And it lets you know that you can change your life anytime you get ready. It's about what you've been having that will in mind to be able to change your life. And it's a young man that I've been knowing since Hillsdale. And, he's going to explain his trial tribulation from one way to another way. And he's glad to share his story. And I hope everybody be really motivated and inspired to hear this man's story. I'm about to ready to pull my guest in. And I want to say, Sam, welcome to Impact Voice.
Hey, how's it going, man? Thank you for allowing me to be on your show.
Yeah, I appreciate it, bro, for taking time to beat the schedule. Your wife submitted, your bio, everything about you, what you went through to where you at today. And they're doing a story on men who been incarcerated, but at the same time change their life around for the better. And it's good to see, men of color change their life around, letting other young men know that, hey, you don't have to stay that role, you don't have to stay that path, but you can make a change in your life. So for those of you to meet you for the first time, Sam, who is Sam Morris?
Well, Sam Morris, man, is a self-made business person, man. Came from a long road, man. Going through a lot of trials and tribulations to get where I am now. I don't regret anything that I've been through, because what I've been through to allow me to get to the place I am now. So as far as who am I? A lot of people know me by Sam. As you say, I'm very known in this area that I'm in, or Mobile or whatever. And that's pretty much it, man.
Yeah, like I said, man, I was just going over you. It's been years since we've seen each other, as we getting older, but still getting younger. We older, but still young. But, explain how you went from, I know you was born in El Paso, Texas, that you ended up coming to Mobile in 1989 after your father left the military. I know at that time in the 80s, we know that drugs was around. Us growing up in Hillsdale, that stuff was around from Hillsdale, Mobile, Terrace, all that. That nature. How did you end up getting caught up in the trade of the drug trade?
Well, like I said, man, I'm originally from El Paso, Texas, man. My dad was in the military. He got a dishonorable discharge out of the military around about 88. My people are originally from Mobile, Alabama. So when we came back to Mobile, I guess you would say everything just went a downward spiral from there. We ended up moving out here to Hillsdale, the Mobile Terrace area. And a lot of things that I grew up around, me being a curious young man coming up, instead of me taking that right path, I ended up taking the wrong path. And, like you said, man, this area, man, is drug infested. It's been that way for years. And not saying that that's an excuse for the route that I took, but it isn't. But that is the route that I took.
Yeah, and I know around that time, growing up in Hillsdale and Mobile, everybody knew each other. Everybody got along. We had our little fight. That was bad how it was growing up back in the day, but everybody got along with each other. But everybody really was cool with each other around that time. How did you end up getting caught up, end up serving time in prison?
Well, man, to be honest with you, man, when I started, venturing off into drugs and selling drugs, using drugs, it really was a game at first. I was young, I was just really doing something. I was still staying with my parents, so it wasn't like I had to sell drugs for us to pay bills or anything like that. It started off as a game, just out there doing something, doing what you seen others do or whatever. But then it got serious, you know. I really got serious in the drug game. That was the way that I survived. That was my daily routine as far as paying my bills, my income. That was my life. You know what I'm saying? And once I got serious in it, then I took it serious. And just a everyday thing, man. Everyday thing, man. And when I served my 10 years and I ended up getting my 10-year sentence, that wasn't the first time that I had actually been in trouble. I've actually been getting in trouble since a juvenile. My first time actually being locked up, I was a juvenile. I ended up doing 9 months in a program called Westwood, and I ended up getting kicked out of Westwood. I had a younger friend we called Junebug, which his real name was Larry Crenshaw. I don't know if you know him. But while I was in Westwood, he ended up getting killed, breaking into a jewelry store right there off of Ziegler Boulevard, which is now a seafood restaurant. And me going through that situation, man, that was my everyday friend, man. And most likely I would have been with him if I would have been home, but I wasn't. I was incarcerated. So when I got that news, man, it did something to me. So, I ended up getting kicked out of the program Westwood and ended up getting sent to boot camp. And after going to boot camp, I ended up getting out and really just fell back into the same trap, man, of just running the streets, man, selling drugs with my peers, and then ended up, man, just getting into a whole nother situation that turned serious. You know what I'm saying? The federal marshals ended up having a warrant looking for me for a gun charge that I had caught. And in the midst of them looking for that, they ran up on a whole bunch of other stuff, and going through that situation of getting the 10 years, man, it just really changed my life. I got locked up for the 10 years in 2005, and I made it to the halfway house on the Causeway right there across the bay in 2014. And, 10 years, man, that's not a short time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And me going through that 10 years, man, just being around a lot of different people, seeing that situation. I mean, you got a lot of people that's never coming home, man. I know you hear a lot of people say it and, rap about it or whatever, but actually being there, seeing it, talking to these guys, it'll change your mind, man.
Yeah, most definitely, because by trade, I'm a correction officer at the Metro now. It's going on 7 years next month.
Okay.
And I see a lot of young men, some of them that grew around in our hood. Our hood is not like it used to be.
At all.
But now I see a lot of guys, man, that came through. A lot of them lost their life. Some of the young guys looking at life in prison. Some of the younger guys in this generation thinking that, man, it's cool. They having a good time playing. But once they see that judge and they get hit with that hard sentence, reality changed for these guys. So what advice would you give a young man who's willing to listen to help change his life so he won't have to go down that road?
What advice that I have for anyone that may be listening, man, young and old, you know what I'm saying, that might be, going through that situation or whatever. The main thing that I see in my peers is changing your life when you coming from the drug trade is my income, the type of money that you're used to making or whatever, what can I do to, make this same kind of money? You really have to get away from that mindset because it's plenty of legal ways out here, and I'm here to tell you because everything that I do is legal. There's plenty of legal ways, man, to make money. There's plenty of legal ways, man, to provide for you and your family. To anybody that may be listening, man, the rap music, the stuff that you see on TV, man, it's not real. They're entertainers. It's not real. They're telling you the good side of it. Most of them don't tell you the bad side of it. They don't tell you, you out there, you selling drugs, you buying cars, you doing this, you doing that. They're not telling you the time that you're going to face when these people finally get their hands on you. And they're going to get their hands on you. It's no doubt about that. You can't beat the system. You're not going to be smarter than them. I mean, it is what it is. Take it from me. from experience. You know, it was times that I thought, well, I'm going to do this different, or I'm going to do that different. I got caught every time. And I'm not a dumb person at all. You see what I'm saying? So to the younger generation that's out there, man, you have to surround yourself with positive people. You have to surround yourself with positive influence. But you also have to be willing to work hard, and you have to be willing to listen. And a lot of our generation, man, they don't want to work. They don't want to work hard. They want it to be given to them, you know. Selling drugs, man, I accumulated a lot of different things, cars, money, clothes, or what have you. I lost all that going through my prison sentence. One thing I noticed about me working, which I own a lawn service and a pressure washer company that's doing real good, and I also work for H&P Oil and Gas, which is my schedule out there is 14 days on, 14 days off. So my 14 days off, I'm here running my business. And everything that I've accumulated working, man, I still have. You know, I don't have to worry about nobody coming to take it. I don't have to worry about the police coming to lock me up. I don't have to look over my shoulders. When I was selling drugs, I had to look over my shoulders. I had to worry about, you know, getting pulled over in the car. If they take it, could I get it back? You know, you worrying about all those different things. And one thing I noticed now, you know what I'm saying, since I've been home, you cannot buy a peace of mind. This is the most calm, the most not worrying about getting in trouble that I've ever been in my life. And outside of money, that's what's most important to me. Being able to spend time with my family, you know what I'm saying, my kids, my wife. That's what I get my joy from. And when I got locked up, you know, like I said, I had accumulated a lot, cars, clothes, and all that stuff. But I lost everything that I had, and I didn't get any money from it. I didn't sell it. And one thing I realized, you know, when I came home, you know, just being in church, listening to my pastor, when God is getting ready to take you to a certain place, he's not going to let you bring any of those things with you. So I had to lose those things to get what I have now.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, because I remember when Lot wife looked back, she turned to a pillar of salt. Just think about it. When God, like you said, when God take you from something, you got to leave the old stuff behind. If you look back, then you don't want to end up going back. And that's how, you know, God is all about moving forward and not backwards. Talk about it today's term. You have a wonderful helpmeet. She the one submitted, you know, your information to me, and that's a true helpmeet. How did you end up meeting your wife?
Well, I actually been knew my wife, man, and it's a long, crazy story. But I met my wife back when she was in high school, and I would have been in high school, but you know, me being in the streets, I had dropped out. And you know, we dated then, and she ended up going into the military, to the Air Force to be exact. And when she enrolled in the Air Force, you know, she got stationed into, I think it was Washington. And, you know, she knew I was down here, I was getting in trouble. And she sent for me, man. She actually told me and wanted me to come where she was at, you know, to get away from whatever was going on down here, whatever I was into. And man, me being the man that I was then, man, I was like, man, I'm not going to follow no female. I mean, I don't know anything about that. How I'm going to get a job, how I'm going to make money. I'm not going to live off of her. So I didn't go. And, man, I think I ended up getting locked up probably a few months after that, man. So we had already built a relationship before I even came home. And when I came home, you know, we ended up getting reintroduced to one another. I didn't say we started dating right off because she wanted to see, was I serious with leaving, you know, was I actually a changed person, you know. And me, man, I ain't gonna lie, she made me work. She made me work, man, and you know, invited me to church. You know, I ended up going to a church with her, which is now called LifeSong Ministries, man, and through me going to church, you know, and just listening to my pastor and my pastor's wife, man, awesome people, man, awesome people. And just, you know, her being the backbone that she is, man, like you say, a true helpmate, man. She's strong. I'm not a cakewalk, you know, I'm stubborn, you know, a lot of times I'm stuck in my ways or whatever. So it takes that strong woman, it takes that strong backbone, man, to push you, you know what I'm saying, when you don't feel like doing this, or, you know, when you might have crazy thoughts about, man, it's taking too long, or man, I can do better than this or whatever. You know, somebody in your ear, somebody that's pushing you to continue on a positive path, man, really makes a difference.
Yeah, and that's a blessing from God to really have that support system in your corner. And
yeah,
No, the goal, the plan. What do you see for the future for your whole entire family? I know you got children and everything. So what is the goal with you and your wife for your children?
Well, the goal right now, man, is to put them on a positive path. You know, through my experience of life, and coming from that side of life, and to owning my own businesses and being able to do what I'm doing right now, is really setting an example, for the things that they don't have to do and the things that they can do. But now at the same time, you have to work for it. You have to put in that effort, for whatever you're trying to do. As far as my kids, man, all of them are good, man, very smart, very intelligent, but at the same time, they're kids. So we go through certain things with them as any family would with their children. My oldest daughter is about to be 16, September the 5th. My son is 12, and my youngest daughter is 10. So I think them seeing us, going to church and living right, and teaching them, the things that they can do, how to do it. I think Monday I told my son I was going to take him to open up him a bank account, and he's 12. You know what I'm saying? So, all that makes a difference when your kids are coming up. You're really teaching them at a younger age, as far as responsibility, how to do things, what not to do, what to look for. But it's up to them to listen, though, because I was told some of these same things when I was coming up. Of course, my kids, they're not coming up in a neighborhood and environment nowhere near like I did, so it's going to be a whole different outcome as far as them. But at the same time, when they get ready to go to college or when they're in high school, they're going out with their friends and, experiencing different things. What have we taught them? What have we sent them out with, so they know when a situation is about to happen, to get away from the situation of this friend right here I shouldn't be around. You know what I'm saying? That's something that starts at home.
Yeah, it do, because as you being a parent, you teach your children about life lessons and prepare them for life and prepare them for different choices and let them know if you make this choice, this will happen. You make that choice, that will happen. Even the Bible speaks about that. Blessings and curses,
Yes,
and He tells us to choose life. So we face choices every day. After it's all said and done, what do you want your legacy to be? I ask my the people I interview all the time. Proverbs 22 talk about a good name. What do you want your legacy to be after it's all said and done?
Well, to be honest with you, man, when my wife first came to me with this interview, I wasn't going to do it. I don't really like talking. I don't really like sharing my story. I like to kind of be more of a secretive person, I guess you would say, kind of back in the background. If I'm asked a question or, something is directed toward me, then, I will put in my input. But one thing God was speaking to me about, man, when I was out there at work is it's not about me, You have to put yourself to the side. It's a lot going on out here in the world, man. And like my pastor always tell me, if you could just help one person, So my legacy, I want my legacy and people to see or hear my story and know that, whatever you have been through or whatever you might be going through, you can always change, through much prayer, fasting, your surroundings, it's really just all on you. Don't give up on life. Whatever you've been through, whatever you might be going through, God won't put nothing on you that you can't handle. I went and did a 10-year prison sentence. I seen a lot of people die while I was in there, and then not only that, I seen people, come in one way and go home another way, meaning that, they lost that motivation or they lost that drive to really try to have something in life. You have to, a lot of people, anybody that has somebody out there that's incarcerated right now going through a situation, yeah, you have to pray that they come home, but you also have to pray that they come home in a good mind state, because it can really do something to you, man. It's a real dramatic situation, So depending on your support system, depending on who's going to have your back when you come home, because I have a real good support system now. I didn't do it by myself. I got people in my corner, people praying with me, people praying for me. I had people looking out for me, doing certain things and, point me in this direction, point me in this direction. So as far as my legacy, man, I want my legacy to be left as a person that you saw go through a situation, but you also saw change his life, meaning that there is hope. You see what I'm saying?
Always is, and as I respect to see a black man at home with his family, and that the children see that, because a lot of times in this generation we have that single parent household where you got the mother and you gonna have the father there. But I respect the man that's raising his family, being there for his family, making those sacrifices to have a better life for his wife and children. So I totally respect you for doing that.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. And like you said, man, it takes two, man. I mean, it really takes two, man. You have to have a father. You have to have a mother on both sides. For your daughters you might be raising or for your sons you might be raising. It's going to be certain things that I can't tell my son or teach my son. It's going to be on his mom and vice versa with my daughter. It's going to be certain things she's not going to be able to tell her or teach her. It's going to have to come from me. So it takes both, man. And not only that, man, it really takes a neighborhood. It really takes a village. You got to have the grandmother. You know what I'm saying? You got to have the grandfather. You really have to have that family orientated background. That's always a plus, especially in the black community, man. Especially in the black community.
Yeah, I know, because we got to come together and to change our generation. I do believe that. It takes all of us to make our generation better, especially within the black community, is to make our community better, and it starts with us, and then it starts that chain reaction. So we finna prolong the time. Sam, you have any final remarks before we get out the air?
Oh yeah, man. I just wanna, say to anybody out there, man, that there might be, in a street situation or whatever situation it may be, a negative situation. I'm not just gonna narrow it down to just being in the street selling drugs or whatever. It could be anything, man. Take it from me, man. I'm qualified to speak on this. A lot of people, try to tell others about this and that, but you haven't been through it. And it's always good to tell people positive things, but if you haven't been through what a particular person is going through or been through yourself, then you might be limited on what you can say or limited on what you can share. I've been out there in the streets. I lived that life my whole life. The rap music is fake. It ain't real. You got people out here that's really living that life that they're rapping about or that they're talking about, but they're not telling you the downside of it. They're not telling you you might get killed. Your homeboys might get killed. I'm still losing my peers to this day, man. Guys that I went to school with, man. Man, the list is so long. And the study climbing. One thing about it, you have to give God some of your time. It's no way around that. You have to give God some of your time. I don't know, somebody out there, might not be spiritual or, whatever you might believe, but, just pray, just pray for things to change. And I promise you they will. Take it from experience, man. Like I said, man, when I first came home, man, it was hard, man. I had a lot of doors closed in my face, man, to the point where I've been actually walked off of job sites because they found out about my background. And, I ended up losing a job, man. And, that could be something that could send a person back to, what they know they can do or what they think they can get away with. So my thing is, man, watch your surroundings, watch your peers, be careful who you around, what you doing, and just positivity, man. Just positivity, being around positive people.
And that's all you have to do is start with you first. And once again, Sam, I thank you for being on, really just going along with the interview. That really means a lot to me for the opportunity to interview. And we're about to get to end this interview this morning. So I want everybody to have a great morning, have a great day, love somebody, respect somebody. And like I said, keep living life and keep God first. So I'll see y'all next time here on Walking This Way's Impact Voice. Sam, thank you.
Yes, sir, man. Thank you, man. And I appreciate the platform that you have, man, for people like me, giving us the chance to be able to tell our story.
Oh, I appreciate it. Like I said, this is something I've been doing, and it's going to keep going on until the Lord say so. So, y'all have a blessed day, everybody. Peace.
Thanks.
You are now listening to the most talked about blog talk radio station in the universe. Walking His Ways, Impact Voice Radio. Be prepared to have your mind stimulated, your spirit elevated in ways you couldn't even imagine. Introducing your host and the mastermind behind this unforgettable experience, Furman